Hi, I'm Chris Cummings from FalconStor, and thank you for joining us for today's upgrade webcast on moving to the latest from FalconStor. We're going to focus first on StorSight, which is our new unified user experience, and then we're going to talk about the move from VTL to StorSafe and from CDP and NSS to StorGuard to get you fully up to date and on the latest from FalconStor to take advantage of our new innovations that we are bringing to the table. I'm joined today by Mark Delsman, who heads product for FalconStor,
Hey,
and by
Chris.
Abdul Hashmi, who heads up professional services and customer success for FalconStor. Abdul,
Hi,
welcome.
Chris.
So
Thank you.
these are the guys who are innovating on the product in behind the scenes, and the guy who is out probably among our largest customers every day of the week. So you're going to get the straight scoop on what's new, why we've been building what we're doing, and how customers are getting value out of it. So I'm looking forward to a great session today. So just one quick update on FalconStor, the company. We are absolutely focused on modernizing backup and data protection for the multi-cloud world. As you know, our customers know, we are 100% focused on software and working with the hardware selections that you've made, whether that's the servers, the SAN storage, the object storage that you have and are using, and also bring you to the cloud and bring cloud capabilities into your solution environment. This has been the focus for the company over the last several years. And as a consequence, we have well over an exabyte of data under management across 1,000 customers and 4 continents. So we continue to move forward. We're adding new technology partners as we go. Most recently, we've been working with Veeam to add the ability to support Veeam environments and bring our industry-leading deduplication capabilities to Veeam environments. Adding, as I mentioned, new options in the cloud world, so specifically for on-premise, as well as in the public cloud, such as Azure, IBM, AWS, Wasabi. And for those that may have missed it, last week we reported our first quarter numbers, achieving 100% growth in product revenue and 200% growth in new customer revenue. So we're continuing to push forward. But the reason why we're spending today's session on upgrading to the latest is so that you, the current user population for these products, can get the most value out of what you've already purchased with us and are working with, and get the most value out of it and apply it for the projects which that we know you have underway. And now we're going to focus our attention on StorGuard and the move from CDP and NSS to StorGuard and the advantages that StorSight can bring in that environment. Really, we've got one product, but 2 topologies. And we introduced StorSight for much more simplified management and ongoing oversight of the implementations. So I'm going to re-engage Mark and Abdul to come in here and talk more about what's new. So Mark, Abdul, the floor is yours.
Great. Thanks, Chris. So as far as upgrading from CDP or NSS, we've gone through several names for our product over the past, but we're focused in now on the store prefix in front of each of our product names. So CDP NSS becomes StorGuard, and we're adding to that the StorSight support. So one management console for however many instances you have of StorGuard or StorSafe, all can be managed under a single user interface of StorSight. So CDP and NSS are both parts of StorGuard, so just one product. You don't need to think about that ahead of time. You could use both of them in different configurations also. And StorSight adds for StorGuard the multi-tenant management, not only across your sites, but including the cloud. The subscription licensing model is based on total capacity that StorSight can see. So once again, you don't need individual licenses on every server like you did in the past. And run as many instances as you want. Since it's capacity license, there's no penalty for having multiple instances throughout your enterprise. We have the IO cluster and IO multi-cluster. We'll just touch on those briefly. And then support for and certifications with continuing new products that we need to stay compatible with, and also some security improvements that we'll discuss. So as you've experienced in the past, you could set up enterprise class data services. So the fact that you could sync or use async replication between StorGuards, we find many of our customers use this. The continuous data protection, high availability of the underlying storage, and disaster recovery. These are features. Abdul, I'm sure you have many stories about how our customers configure our products here to protect their data.
Yes, of course. Thanks, Mark. Just like you and Chris alluded to earlier, it's one product and multiple topologies, as we used to do it differently before. So yeah, StorGuard definitely bring that flexibility to our customers and who are using a mixed bag of topologies, and we provide the same, continuous data replication or delta replication, the same snapshots. All those functionalities are still available, but it's probably on the next slide, but you don't have to separate your topologies to in-band and sideband, where you used to have a standalone CDP server for sideband and NSS. We have customers who have been running both NSS and CDP with the licensing on each one. And so this StorGuard really brings everything together. You just need one StorGuard server that can serve both topologies, primary storage or mirror storage for the sideband, and all of that with a single license. From now on, the StorGuard servers are not tied with the license. It's the StorSight. So you could have, tens of StorGuard servers, especially, for our existing customers. They may know if there's a hardware issue, we need to track the license, because currently those licenses are tracked attached to the MAC addresses. We need to renew, we need to keep count of the registration count. So none of those exist with StorGuard. One simple license, and you can use it for as many StorGuard servers as you feel like. Yeah.
And just to highlight, as said in the first bullet here, as before, StorGuard is a software package. It can run on any industry standard server. So we maintain quite a compatibility matrix for underlying hardware, but you're free to choose whatever either your enterprise has standardized on, or perhaps the vendor that has the best deal for the hardware. As I mentioned a moment ago, we support IO cluster for HA. This is configuration within one data center. This comes standard as a part of StorGuard, and IO multi-cluster for HA, more in a metro region. So once again, with StorSight managing all of these servers for you. StorSight, we believe, adds the management simplicity. So this it replaces what we lovingly called our Java GUI. It's the FalconStor management console that we used before with each individual server. Now it's all combined into StorSight. It not only manages all versions of StorGuard and StorSafe, but it can also manage any of the optional StorGuard agents that you choose to deploy in your system, making sure that it keeps them current. And StorSight can run either on physical hardware, it can run in a VM, it can run in the cloud. So you have quite a few options of where to position StorSight. And once again, it gives you a way to manage Even if you're working from home, you can manage your FalconStor infrastructure through the StorSight management console. Here's a screenshot of StorSight and what it adds. Not only gives you dashboards for what's going on, but it also allows you to monitor the current setup, manage it, perform analytics on how it's running and capacities that you're utilizing, and do all of the administration that you would normally expect to be able to do. So not only current status, will give you historical trends. You could set alerts. So if something exceeds a threshold, for example, a very common one would be if your capacity utilization is up to like 90%, it can send you an alert so that you can take care of that when time allows. It shows you capacity usage, as I mentioned, the server overview, how busy the servers are, their performance, snapshot resources, etc. It allows you to set up a lot of policies and ability to get the configuration, the screens, the views into your infrastructure that you desire. And as I mentioned, you can manage your optional agents through the StorSight console also. Abdul, do you want to mention how customers are using this?
Yeah, absolutely. Managing hundreds of disafe clients, let's say, for that sideband solution can be a pain, as most of our customers would know. Updating those clients each one by one, or whether it be a FalconStor patch or it be a policy update that you want to do. With the StorSight, we have what we call FCM. Through that StorSight, you can actually push a single FalconStor patch and update to all these clients. And it's not only this safe, you could be IMA, or we're expanding that list of our snapshot agents as well. You get a list of what kind of agents you have installed on all your clients, whether you need to update it, and more importantly, you also check right there in the GUI if there's a new version available from FalconStor, and you can just use the GUI to push that to all the clients. So it's a very powerful feature for our customers. Like I said, most of our customers, they have hundreds of clients, and they love this feature, to be able to manage it from a centralized location and not have to go to every disafe or that client that has the agent.
I have to expect that saves them hours and hours of time.
Absolutely.
Here's a couple of screenshots of predictive analytics. Screens might be a little bit small to see here, but you can see you can not only get the pie charts and the trend lines, but you can also expand or contract the time frame that you're looking across for historical reports, so that you can really get whatever view it is that you feel most comfortable with in looking at your systems and your setup. Abdul, your team has been offering this optimization insights. Why don't you take us through this example here?
Of course. Thanks, Mark. So any IT business during their daily operations, sporadically they will generate the need for optimization, and there could be a lot of reasons for this. There could be application have updated, or there's a increased load on the I/O capacity, or for example, maybe there's a new database application that has a latency. And so throughout the weeks and months of this environment, there's a need for kind of taking a full audit of this from time to time, and that's what we offer with our service, which is what we call FalconStor Optimization Insights, because really that's what it is. We go through not only our logs and our features and software, but we also look how we interface with the network, with the fiber channel, with the storage and the hypervisors on the clients. We look at all the linkage and everything and identify areas that could be a potential bottleneck in terms of performance, that could be enhanced, that could be enhanced, identify where, even the hardware, where if some updates needs to be made. So it's a fully exhaustive list of checks that we go through. A full audit of the site encompasses everything, not just the FalconStor piece. And of course, we wouldn't be working on third-party, troubleshooting third-party issues, but we are willing to work with those vendors, bring it up to the customer. This fiber channel issue maybe should be addressed, and and then we work with those vendors to address it. So it's a very substantial service that we offer to our customers, which they love. It brings them a lot of value.
I can well imagine. Thanks, Abdul. Chris, how about I send it back over to you to summarize StorGuard and StorSight?
Sure. So, as we know, we've had substantive products in CDP and NSS, and StorGuard really brings those under one roof, and we maintain that. StorSight has been sort of what I would say the missing link, which is a real unified user experience, not just for the reporting and the analytics that we showed, but also just being able to manage all these different agents and do that in a streamlined and efficient way. We maintain the ability to add multi-tenancy and role-based access control, because as these environments get larger and enterprise uses get larger, they've got to be able to add this capability because there's the only way to be able to manage it collectively and also be able to charge back oftentimes and report on SLAs. And so some of the reporting that Abdul was showing, I think, is critical here. And we maintain, we add in the more on the IO clustering and multi-clustering capabilities. So, we've got a product now under one roof that will make it easier to manage and easier to standardize on. So with that, we're going to focus now and open it up to your questions on how to move to StorGuard. And so we invite all your questions. We've got a bunch in the queue, so we're already ready to go. But please bring your questions. I just want to start by reminding folks, I know this is a change, but when it comes to a StorSafe implementation or a StorGuard implementation, there's not an individual fee for a server here, server there, server around anywhere. It's all one large capacity license. So how you deploy is completely up to you. I just want to remind people on that, and happy your account team and support is happy to go over all of that with you. The first question is on metrics, and there's a couple questions on metrics. So Abdul, I'm going to throw this to you. What specific metrics will we see for StorGuard in an optimization insights type of service?
Thanks, Chris. It's a great question. The optimization insight report is actually a very exhaustive list of the things that we go through. So we look from the hardware perspective, the software perspective, the OS perspective, the network perspective. So we give a report and stats on all those parameters that could be an issue or they may have passed. So it really encompasses all the interlinkage with FalconStor solution, from fiber channel to storage to clients to hypervisors and network, and all of that included is part of the reports.
Okay. And then, so we have prepackaged reports, but obviously people need to be able to use that in different ways. How can they get access to that? How can they export that data? That's the question.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the reports that we already have built in our StorSight. So all our report, be it that's the general rules or the reports that you have, smart rules or general reports or alerts, can be exported in multiple formats, can be even sent via SMS to your text, cell phone or mobile phone. or send via email. So you can send it to as a PDF format, as a CSV format. From there on, you can do all the magic that you want to do on your end with your database. But yeah, we give you the ability to export in different formats all our reports.
And this one for you, Mark, again on analytics. So you talked a little bit about predictive analytics. What kind of new reporting is available here with StorSight now sitting on top of a StorGuard implementation?
We think, Chris, that the reporting is, a real benefit of StorSight, and our customers use quite a few of the reports. We get a lot of feedback on that. And one in particular, I think, is just, capacity estimates. You can see a trend line. This is one I showed in the slides earlier. You could show a trend line of your capacity utilization over time, and it can predict based on your historical usage when your capacity is going to be, your available capacity is dangerously low. So you can set up thresholds to alert you when it crosses particular levels. But that's just an example of one of the very commonly used reports. The analytics in there is predicting when you may run out of storage and allow you to take action.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next one is just on the practical use around managing agents. So Abdul, you're talking with folks every day about this. So just talk about the change that people are going to experience around that.
Yes, specifically, that's actually a very good question. With our StorGuard side of things, where we have a lot of host agents that need to be installed on the clients, and we have two deployment models. So with the CDP, you always have a disape agent plus another snapshot agent. It's kind of difficult for customers to manage all those clients individually as far as the disape is concerned or the policy on those clients are concerned. Most of our customers, they have over 100 to 300 clients, so it becomes very time consuming from a management standpoint. What StorSight brings in this regard is what we call FCM, is the client management piece within the StorSight, where you're able to see all your clients, the version that they have installed, or FalconStor client version installed and the build version installed. You could actually even, it will also display what is the latest version from FalconStor. As we release, we update that. So you see if you're behind and, if it's a patch, it can be simply pushed from this StorSight GUI to all the clients. And so you don't have to install it on every client manually, right? Go into every client. Or even if you want to do a policy update, right? Let's say you want to update your disape policy. You don't have to go to every single client to do that. So a great flexibility from an ease of management, seeing all your clients in a single location.
Okay, and then talk a little bit. The next one is on just moving to that. What should they expect in terms of if you're moving to StorGuard from CDP or NSS and you're installing StorSight? What expectations should people have about disruption of service or downtime? Would be great. Please let them know.
Yeah. Sure. Great question. Thanks, Chris. So StorSight obviously is a brand new installation. Whether we want to install it on a hardware or we want to install it in a VM, that is just a brand new installation. The upgrade from CDP or NSS is not different than any other upgrades that we have done, whether our existing customers, coming from 6 to 7 to 8 and to 9. It's simply a USB upgrade that we take it from CDP or NSS to StorGuard. However, the beauty of this is if we have customers who are running NSS and CDP, because we dictated that topologies be different per server role. Once upgraded to StorGuard, a single StorGuard can be both act as an NSS or a CDP. So it can give you both in-band LANs and as well as give you sideband protection for your clients. Single license, obviously, to manage all your servers So the license keys are not tied to the individual servers any longer. It's just per store site. But yeah, the upgrade is really straightforward.
Okay, so you can get there. Another question on StorSight and StorGuard, and to move a client from one HA pair to another online. Is this something that that we can accomplish using these technologies? Abdul, maybe you want to take that one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, moving a client from. I didn't quite get the question. I'm sorry.
Moving a client from one HA pair to another HA pair online. That's the sorry. That it must be multiple different departments, perhaps that are being used here, and moving them from one environment to another.
Yeah, I mean, so we have ways. Let's say if this client data has been protected via replication to another HA, so yeah, obviously it can be moved. It can be spin up from there. If the data has been mirrored, so there are ways of doing it, but of course, the devil's in the details, right? We do support obviously replication from one HA to another HA. So if all the data has been replicated and this client basically needs to come up on another HA, it can come up. And it can be done. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, you guys, final thing is I'll just open it up to you on just thoughts about the move from CDP and NSS to StorGuard. Just talk about how folks can get started. So Mark, maybe you want to address that.
Sure. So Abdul has mentioned this as we've gone through the other questions, that if you have not been using StorSight, that is a new installation, but the upgrade from a CDP or NSS to StorGuard is just like any other version update that you probably have gone through in the past. So that has very minor impact, but making sure that you get the resources assigned and getting StorSight installed is takes a little bit more planning because of the resources required. As Abdul said, this can run in a VM under a hypervisor, so it doesn't necessarily need to be a standalone system, but you do need to take that into account.
Abdul, thoughts there?
Yeah, just like Mark said, and I would say for all those existing customers, first of all, I would like to say thank you for being part of the FalconStor family. If you still have doubts, if you still are not sure if StorSight or StorGuard or StorSafe is the right for you, feel free to reach out. We can do a site audit. We can tell you if the reasons that perhaps you should move into this upgrade, and we can work with you. So either reaching out to your account team, or if you need additional information, by all means, send it to support, send it to me directly. I'll be more than happy to get on a call with you guys to discuss your particular situation and how we can help you in moving forward with the upgrade.
Great. I think that's a good place for us to wrap it up. I know we weren't able to answer every single question. We had a lot, and there are a lot of specific questions that people have about the specifics of their environment. And that's exactly what Abdul is talking about, is if you reach out to your account team, that's going to get you directly to two points of light. One is your solutions engineer, who's going to be able to answer those questions for your specific environment, and also to Abdul and his team to get answers. So thanks a lot for your participation today. And I think that really is the next step, is these products are available. It's time to move to the next, and we know you're going to have specific answers to get there. So please engage with us. And again, these are here that we think that these are going to provide a lot of value to you, and we're looking forward to the next generation. So thanks again, everybody, for participating and all your great questions. We're looking forward to engaging with you directly.